What's up guys, it's Tess, and today I have a super delicious brunch recipe for you. This is also really family friendly, and honestly, every time I make it at home, the house smells amazing, so you have to try it. We've got stuffed peanut butter and jelly French toast. For me, the ultimate American sandwich is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? So why not take that sandwich to the next level and turn it into something delicious that you can have for brunch, you can have it for breakfast. Now for this French toast, there's one bread that's absolutely perfect. It is the Pepperidge Farm Swirl bread. This stuff in and of itself is delicious. It smells sweet, it tastes delicious, but they have one variety amongst all the ones that they have called French toast, and it's a French toast swirl bread. There's actually the flavors of French toast swirled right into the bread, so it's perfect for this recipe. And honestly, when you open this pack, all you can smell before even having made French toast is French toast. Wow, it's like maple syrup and cinnamon all baked into one. So for this French toast, you will start off with two pieces. You've got that beautiful swirl baked right in. There's lots of cinnamon, there's some maple in there. Perfect for this. And to make it a classic peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you need peanut butter and jelly. Of course, if you have a nut allergy, for example, can't do peanuts, you could substitute almond butter. If you can't do nuts at all, you could do a sunflower seed butter. That's totally fine too. But today, we're keeping it classic and we're doing some peanut butter. And the key with this, you want to take it all the way out to the edges. And that way, it'll sort of seal in the jelly that's right in the middle by creating this seal all the way around on the edges. Now, you can do a lot of peanut butter or you can just do a little bit. It kind of depends. You just want a nice even layer so that when you go to smush it into a sandwich, it really kind of is evenly distributed throughout. Next up for your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you need jelly. Anything works, but we're going with strawberry today because that is my favorite. And you're gonna put that right in the middle. Don't take it all the way out to the edges because the jelly won't do a seal on the edges. The peanut butter will because it's sticky, but the jelly won't. So just keep it kind of like a pocket in the middle. All right, time to sandwich. So you're gonna take one slice and just pop it right on like that and give it a nice little squish and seal. I'm gonna do two today because I think it's a really nice serving. Might as well live it up a little bit. Okay, next up, for a French toast, you're gonna need a custard or a batter, right? That you're gonna dip these breads in so that they can cook on the pan. So grab yourself a little bowl. The custard recipe is super, super simple. I've got 3/4 of a cup of milk here. This is regular whole milk. If you're sensitive to whole milk, you could swap out almond milk, soy. It doesn't have to be whole milk. Next up, we got 2 eggs. Crack those. Crack the second one. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. You don't need a whole lot of sugar for this. There's already sweetness in the bread and then sweetness in the jelly, and you'll have a little powdered sugar on top afterwards, so you don't really want to overdo it on the sugar. And then you have a teaspoon of cinnamon. So this is really gonna amp up that cinnamon flavor that's already in your swirl bread. And then all you need to do is whisk. That's it. Super simple. Break up the yolks. Oh, the cinnamon is like hitting me in the face. It's so good. When you add cinnamon to a wet mixture like this, it's not gonna look like it fully incorporates. Don't worry about it. It'll all work out once it starts cooking. And I love the soft texture of this bread. These thick slices are perfect for this recipe. Main thing is you just wanna make sure that your egg whites and yolks are really broken up and distributed throughout your milk. You could also add vanilla to this. I would add about a teaspoon, but because there's already that flavor of the maple in the bread, I don't really want to take away from that here. But if you were using another flavor like cinnamon swirl or cinnamon raisin swirl, you could totally add in that little bit of vanilla. And then the next thing you're gonna do, give these guys a little dunk. But first I'm gonna turn on my pan. I have a tablespoon of butter in here, and I'm just gonna get that heating up, nice and melted. And you wanna melt your butter at about medium heat, and you're also gonna cook your French toast at about medium heat. Take this little baby and then just give it a bath. And you wanna just soak both sides, get all that goodness throughout the bread. And also when you bite into this later, you want that custard all the way throughout the bread. You don't want it sort of dry in the middle. One final little thing you can do just to make sure you have that perfect seal on your stuffed bread, you can take a fork and just give it a gentle little press around the edges. That's just really gonna make sure that your jelly and your peanut butter are nicely tucked in there. And I would always do this after you add your batter to it. If you do it before, you're likely to tear the bread, so just do it right afterwards and then the bread is nice and soft. Let's give these babies a little cook, shall we? I'm gonna take this over and we're gonna drop these in the pan. So we have our butter melted, as you can see here. Drop one in and the other. And then this is where the magic starts to happen. This is where your home starts to feel like a bakery. The smell of maple, the smell of cinnamon, it's pretty amazing. And what I like to do is I like to start making this before anybody else in the house is up. And then as they wake up, all they smell is this amazing stuffed French toast throughout the whole house. It's a great way to wake up on a weekend. All right, let me give it a little check here. Oh, perfect. And this guy, yes. That looks so good. You can still see a little swirl in there. It's golden brown, crispy on the edges. So you're gonna give it about 2 minutes aside. That way you'll get the opportunity to really cook the batter all the way through. You wanna make sure that everything that's soaked in there gets a nice cook. I love this Pepperidge Farm swirl bread because it's made with quality ingredients. You can see it right on the pack, and every single slice has real cinnamon baked right into it. As I mentioned, Pepperidge Farm also has a few other flavors of this swirl bread that are really perfect for this. They have a cinnamon swirl, and then they have a cinnamon raisin swirl as well, which would also be perfect for this. You can do those with regular French toast, or you can also do this stuffed method. If you're doing a cinnamon swirl, I think cinnamon and blueberries is a really wonderful combination. So you could do like a blueberry jam in there. You could also skip jam altogether if you're not a fruits person and just do your nut butter. It's super versatile, but all those flavors that are baked into those Pepperidge Farm breads are perfect vehicles for this amped up stuffed French toast. We're gonna pop these two onto a plate. We have our 2 stuffed French toasts. They smell absolutely insanely delicious. And now we're just gonna garnish them. Garnish however you like. Today, I'm gonna do a little bit of powdered sugar to start with, just because I think it's so pretty and it adds a little more sweetness. So we're gonna pop that right on there. You could also add whipped cream if you were feeling super indulgent. All right, perfect. And then just take some pretty berries here, just pop them around. Just drop those right over there. I swear berries make everything look more beautiful and more elevated. Now, of course, you could also add maple syrup on top of this, but because it already has that maple flavor baked into the bread, I don't really feel like it needs it, and it starts to compete with the inside, which is the peanut butter and the jelly. So as you wish, I'm not gonna add any maple syrup today, but you certainly could. And there we have it. Look at this beauty. It is so pretty. It is so perfect. I can still, under the powdered sugar, see a little bit of that swirl peeking through. Oh, it has a little crunch on the outside, which I love. So right in the middle there, I can see that peanut butter. I can see more of the jelly in the center. So we've got some peanut butter, we got jelly, we have that beautiful bread, which has been soaked with a custard, and a little berry for good measure. And we're gonna pop that right in. Wow, it's so good. It's so good. I taste the maple, I taste the cinnamon from the bread, I taste the peanut butter and the jelly. There's a nice little crunch on the outside from the butter in the pan, and then the berry just tops it off. This is so good, and it is so perfect, whether you're having your friends over or you're doing it with your family. You can get your kids involved. Super easy, super delicious, and so very yummy. Thanks you guys for joining today. Please comment down below if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. Enjoy your stuffed French toast. Take care.